So to wrap this module, let's take a look at what we've covered. The key thing we know now is that threads alone cannot reliably handle long-running operations. Right? We know that if the user switches away from the activity that houses that process, the operating system considers that process a candidate for a termination and may kill the process before your threads have a chance to finish doing the work they do. Right? And services are a solution to that. Right? Remember that services still use threads to do their work, but services themselves are a component that's recognized by the operating system and are considered important to the user. Right? Remember, they're actually the most important thing on the system except for the process the user is directly interacting with. Right? So this gives us a reliable way to run long-running operations. Now, the simplest services to implement are these on-demand services. Remember that intent service class gave us an easy mechanism for doing that. Right? We simply inherited from that class, override the on-handle intent method, and allowed us to do our work. It took care of all the overhead of creating threads to help us out and managing the lifetime of the service and so forth. Right, now, the way you actually start a service, or maybe a better way to say that, is the way you actually provide work to a service or make requests of a service is with the start service method. Right, so you call start service, and you pass it an intent identifying the service that you want to interact with. If that service is within the same process, all you need to do is provide the class type for that service, and the process will go ahead and locate the service, create it, and hand off to it. If you want to support cross-process access, then we need intent filters. Right? So you have to, inside the manifest, when you define the service, you declare the intent filter for the intents it wants to handle, and then clients can make requests to it by passing intents that meet that filter. It's important to note, too, is that when you're calling a service from within the same process, you can use that class type definition, but you can also use the same intents you would use from any other application. Right? So the intent filters allows you to access the service from within the same process or another process, where the class type definition only allows us to do it from within the process.